Today we are going to be making maple scones. For the recipe, you will need 2.5 cups of flour, half a cup of quick oats, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter cut into small cubes, 1 cup of heavy cream, half a cup of maple syrup plus 2 tablespoons, and 1 cup of icing sugar. First, we're going to be mixing our dry ingredients into a bowl. Add your 2.5 cups of flour, half a cup of oats, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoons of salt, and then you're going to mix that all together. If you received a kit for this recipe, divide your maple syrup and heavy cream. Take 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and 2 tablespoons of the heavy cream and place it in a small bowl for later. Now we're going to take the remaining heavy cream and the remaining maple syrup and we're going to whisk it together. Now you can set that aside while we take our 4 tablespoons of butter and we're going to be adding it to our bowl, and then I'm using a pastry cutter just to mix it in. You can also use your hands if needed as well. Now we're going to gradually add in our maple syrup and heavy cream mixture. I'm just adding about half of it and then mixing, and then in a moment you'll see me add the rest of it. Now I'm just going to mix this with my hands and make sure that all the ingredients are incorporated. Now it's time to shape our scones. I'm just adding some oats to my surface so that the dough doesn't stick. You can also just add some flour and that will help the dough not stick to your surface. And I'm just going to make the dough into a rounded shape, and I'm going to pull it back up and place it on a cutting board to be cut. And now we're going to be cutting our dough into the triangles. I was able to get about 10 triangles out of this dough. However, if you want your scones bigger or larger, you can cut them accordingly. Now we're just going to place them on a baking sheet, and we're going to be baking these from 15 to 20 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees. After about 16 minutes, this is what my scones looked like. These were done enough for me. However, if you want them a little bit more brown, just leave them in a bit longer. Now we're going to be making the icing topping. So I'm going to be starting with those 2 extra tablespoons that I had set aside of maple syrup and the heavy cream, and add it to the bowl. And in the kit you would have received 1 cup of icing sugar. Gradually add it to your bowl, depending on the texture that you like. If you like a more thin texture, you will only want to use a little bit of icing sugar. However, if you want it more thick, you can add in the full cup. I used just about a cup, but not quite for mine. Now I'm just going to be using my whisk to drizzle on that icing topping. You can completely coat the scones in the topping, or you can just drizzle it kind of like I am here. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe today and you enjoyed these maple scones. See you next time.